Okay, you guys are ready. So, welcome. We are here for an episode of Quilt Talk with Miss Gailcram and Michelle Burritt. And today's topic is
hanging sleeves.
That's it. Yeah.
There you go.
So we brought some samples. There's some samples here. We're going to talk about there's going to be a little bit of a demo.
Yes.
And what to do and what not to do. And you know what's so funny is every time they ask what not to do, they ask me for samples. They're like, Jeannie, do you have some samples? So,
no, we love you. We love you.
So we're going to deal with the experts who know what to do.
Yeah, the experts.
Experts. This is how I do mine, and that's all I can tell you. I know there's a lot of ways to do this stuff. There's got to be tons of ways.
Oh, there. Well, and I don't have, like I was telling Michelle, I don't have any wall space, so I just have little pieces, and I just sew on little rings that you would find in the drapery department, and then I'm so good. I put thumbtacks up and then put the little rings over the thumbtacks. So
Works.
It works, yeah.
But if you're gonna have a quilt, especially a larger quilt, you're gonna need a sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Can we show them what you're talking about, Gail, when you
Yes.
say what you do?
Okay. Wrong side.
Yeah, and necessity is the mother of invention. I'm sure lots of people have other ways, but this is what Gail's talking about. She has these like little rings that she sews
Yeah, but
onto them.
Like in the home, you just get them like in the where draperies are. Like I used to do Roman shades, and I'd use those. So,
Yeah. I bet one day you were like, you know what? I bet would work.
there you go.
Yes. And then this is the adorable wall hanging. Look how cute that is with the little bunny and the bunny ears. Super cute. Would you do that with, how big of a quilt would you do that with? This is pretty tiny. This is what, like 2 feet by 3 feet?
Oh yeah, I would not. Maybe some of the Kimberbell, like the door quilts and stuff, I'll do it with those, but nothing really bigger than that, because you're going to get sagging in the center. But
We don't like sagging.
no.
No sagging.
We don't like sagging anywhere.
No.
Well, and when you're my age, you really sag.
Yes.
Another episode of inappropriate comments from A1
From
Document
quilters,
Sewing.
yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
from quilters.
All right.
Who we are. What can we say? So I have a different kind. I brought 2 of them because this one it's a thinner quilt. So I have it all sewn on there, and it's an actual sleeve. And this is my very technical tool that I use.
And no, we do not carry those here, but maybe we should.
why
Oh,
I
is
brought
that
mine.
like a sizer? Do you put that in there for
I will show you
sizing
during the
or?
demo.
Okay.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
No.
Yay!
But yes, I do use it. And I can iron over it too. It is
perfect.
like heat resistant.
Yeah, let's do it for a second.
So, and then on the other quilts that are larger, I have a bigger sleeve because I found,
When you say bigger sleeve, wider this
Yes.
way.
yes,
Okay.
it's wider because this one I start with an 8-inch piece of fabric, which I did with this one that I'll show you in the demo. And then this one was not.
How big? How big
don't
is that
know
one?
how-
You think
this
maybe 6 inches?
Well, look, I have a ruler.
Okay. I
And-
swear I would think that you two had been drinking, but I know they haven't been.
So
I
Tina
bet
is
5.
5. I bet 5. You're right.
So 5 inches. So you started with 5 inches for the other one,
Yes,
and
yes. So a 3-inch difference shows this. But when you put a quilt in a show,
Yeah, you're gonna need the bigger one.
you need the bigger ones because they've got it depends, the bigger rods that they're going to be pushing through to hang your quilts.
okay. So
And-
good. You think
And this would probably be for almost any show you would go to. This
Correct.
would be plenty big enough.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
some shows may have different criteria.
Mm-hmm.
But
It is a smaller quilt, but I'm going to put it in the show that we're having.
Can we
here
see
in
the
June.
quilt and can we see how big it is and get an idea of what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So maybe
You
show
wanna
us
see
that one
both?
first. Yep. Let's see them both.
This one's thin, and this.
Ooh, I love that one. That one has the Is it Pearly Gates?
Yeah, Purely Gates.
What's it called? Purely Gates.
With the
Okay.
Mylar. So there's this one, but it's long.
Yeah.
It's long.
It's the
a wall
wall
hanging.
hanging that keeps on going. Can I just show them how cute that pin cushion is down on the bottom? You've got to see this. Like, look
Well,
at.
I
Is that
just
just the?
yeah,
You
I
can't
embroidered
appreciate it
everything.
from.
I thought, well, I'm gonna
But
stick
it's
'em in some
oh there.
blocks.
Do you see that shimmer and
And it's
glimmer?
not- it's
Is
not-
that the thread that you did?
No, it's Mylar.
Oh my goodness. That is cute. And I have seen this hanging in Michelle's sewing room. It is so adorable. So that one is the one that you have with the 5-inch hanger on the top. You
Yes.
started with 5 inches, so
And
it's
Yes.
Okay.
And it's small. So
There.
it's just small, and I was not preparing to put this in a show or nothing. It was just for my own. You know, I can put a dowel in there if I want, however, to hang it, because it's long, so it gets a little bit of weight to it.
Yep.
So that's why I did that. Or another thing is those shower hooks.
Yes, you can use those.
Little rings, and they got like a little.
We have those.
like an alligator
Clamp on them.
Yeah, we have
And I
those here.
use
Are you
those,
talking
too.
about
Or you could put
And I
tabs.
use-
You can
yeah.
put tabs on them too. It's just you can
Yeah.
see.
Yep,
yeah,
those,
Those
yeah.
are
Okay.
exactly right.
And I
So-
hang big quilts with that. Just use
Yeah.
more of them
yeah,
Yep.
you can
with
use those.
thumbtacks in the wall.
Yes, I know.
So there are ways.
There
but,
are ways.
But there's really nice hangers. You can get those wooden
Oh,
ones that
yeah,
are
they're
nice.
really-
Oh yeah, I
Or
should
what-
show you
and
some of this
hang
stuff. We
those.
have some
Yeah,
stuff
you
here in
have
the
some
store.
Beautiful ones.
Yeah.
Yes, and then those don't require a sleeve because they kind of get pinched in between the wood and hold up that way. And then this one,
Ooh,
You wanted to see this one too?
yeah. Oh, cute.
this one has the bigger sleeve.
Okay, this is the one where she started with 8 inches. That
Yeah, so it's
is
applique.
adorable.
So
That's really cute.
I love it. Okay,
it's a motor kit.
can we show it to them up close because they
Oh,
need
yeah.
to appreciate
Yes,
how
I'm sure you
beautiful
could get
this
this.
is.
Oh,
But look at the applique that Michelle did. She does both of these ladies do like amazing work. So, and then the hanger on the back, you said you started with
this is the
8
8
inches.
inch.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
So
there
and
we
then
go.
it's all tacked down, and I'll show you.
Okay.
What I was going to do. Yeah, because I have not judged any shows or anything, but I've been there and helped hang quilts,
Yes.
and I've seen it. So
you
you
need, yeah,
need
you need to, have
make
these,
sure.
and you need to make sure it's tacked down.
yeah, all the way,
All the
and
way.
even right there.
Yes.
Because anyway. So I
Oh,
can
got
show you- I'll
it.
show you during the demo.
So tack down in the top end. How do you tack it
she's-
down?
by hand.
That's by
It's
hand.
a whip stitch.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just a whip stitch by hand.
But you got to make sure you don't go through to the front,
yes.
especially if it's going to hang in a show.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And if you've done your binding and whipped all that,
I just
this is
wanted-
nothing.
I just wanted to start asking Gail more questions about that, but we're going to save it because
Yes.
that's going to be next time we get together. We'll talk about the
Yeah.
show.
This
So
is
hard
just
to.
a little teaser.
And also,
Yes.
I know, I don't have, like I was telling these gals, I don't have a lot of wall space. I have quilt ladders at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I have 4 of them. So I have them just like hung over the ladders all through my house. And then I fold them and stack them on chairs too. And then I hang them over couches.
And you say a quilt ladder. It's not really. It's not something special just made for quilt. It's literally, isn't it just a ladder?
Well,
And I've seen
Sometimes
people
blanket
lean
ladders
them.
people get,
Blanket
and they're a little bit
ladders.
wider.
and you
Blanket
can
ladders. Yeah.
order them on Amazon.
Yeah.
And they
Or
come-
Wayfair, I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
in
just
any
a
different
ladder.
color. And then I have some antique ladders that I have
Oh.
too.
That
that
would
are
be
really
really
cool.
nice.
I
Put
didn't even-
antique quilts on those.
Yeah,
And stuff.
so-
That would be really nice.
Because I know a lot of people, I mean, I don't have wall space, so it's kind of hard for me to hang stuff. So that's
So-
what I
Yeah.
do.
So, Michelle, when you do your hanger, is this how you do it every single time? Or are there any
Yes.
other ways that you do it? Okay.
No.
There are ways you can do them in the corners.
Yes, I don't do it.
I
that
don't
way.
do it that way either. I don't think it gives it enough stability.
No, even on a small quilt like
Yeah.
this,
For
which
some
is
reason.
only
Yeah.
like say about 20 inches wide. If I did that on each corner, I would still have a loop or something in
In the center. I know. I have found I don't have to have for some reason with these rings, I don't have to have anything in the center, but I have done the corners where you do the
but
triangle.
you pull it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pulled
It's
out.
pulled out.
If it was straight,
Straight,
it
yeah.
might sag.
Yeah. So, Yeah, I have seen them with the corners, but I won't do it that way either.
Yeah. So
This is the best way if you don't have a quilt holder,
yeah,
like
that's,
those wooden quilt holders
Yeah.
and stuff. This is actually the best way and the nicest way. It's you get a cleaner look
Yeah.
and your quilt hangs nicely.
Would you say then for the quilts that are in competition, is
Oh,
this?
they're always going to want a sleeve.
They're always a sleeve.
it's required.
Yes, it's
Okay.
required.
Okay. I was just looking to see if we had any questions. Faye Weaver asked, can you show how you attach the sleeve and at what point you attach the sleeve?
Absolutely.
Well,
Are we ready?
Yeah,
What
if
a
we're ready for
prelude.
that.
There you go.
Let me go ahead. I'm
Okay.
just going to
I
move
have
this
a
over
demo.
for you. Do you mind
Okay.
sliding back just a little bit? And I'm going to slide in here. And then we'll come over with, I'm going to come over with the camera.
Okay.
Here we come over. Here we go. So, Michelle, well, I mean, look how cute this is just to begin with. She like quilted it, of course, so it looks amazing.
Chickens.
It's chickens!
I'm into
Oh
chickens
my
right now, I
God!
guess.
I'm sorry the camera is so unstable, but I'm hitting stuff with all of it. Okay,
so
I'm going to bring this down. Hang on. So, oops, that doesn't bend. Hang on.
And I have, let me see. I'm going to just scoot that back a little bit.
Okay, can I get this in over here? And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Can we talk about before you start sewing?
Yes.
Can we talk about how you put this together, like what this is, how big it is? Do you overhang it?
Okay.
And then how you
Yes.
figure everything out?
Okay, so first of all, this is my finished quilt, says whatever size. This is just a demo. So here's my quilt. This is going to be my binding. So I'll set that aside. This is my actual sleeve that I'm doing. So I have it's 8 inches from here to here. And then I usually make it the exact width. And then what I do is I set it like this.
And can I show them how you finish the edge?
Yes, I always finish the edge.
So, and just fold it over twice and quarter
Yep,
inch.
I folded it over
twice.
and I ironed it. And when I stitched it really close to this
I'm
edge.
going to show it to you guys.
Because if you don't, when people are jamming the rods through, it catches and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
And you're going, oh my gosh.
So, another
Because
question.
people are in a hurry when they're doing this and they're just not meaning to do things, but things happen to your quilts if it's not you hanging them. Somebody, may not show your quilt the love that you do.
Yes,
Even though
and so when
they
they're
do
popping
care
it
for
in.
'em. Yeah, they do care for them and they are careful, but sometimes things just happen. So I have this edge.
I have one more question.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
So when you do and you put on the binding, where do you start? And do you start here first and put the hanging sleeve on first, or where do you start with your binding strip?
Okay, well, what I do, first of all, binding, you're jumping ahead a little
Well,
bit.
because when you go to put that on, like,
Yeah, you're jumping ahead.
okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry, just rein me
No,
in.
that's okay. We're reining her in, just like a fishing pole. No. Okay, so what I do, I get my edges done, and then I look at it, and I come in about a 1/2 inch from either side is kind of my goal, because you're going to have your binding right there. And you don't want this flopping over your binding, okay? So I have it about a 1/2 inch. Yeah, you can see it.
It's finished.
And then there's still about a 1/4 inch away from the binding. So you don't want to bring it in this way either, because if you hang it and you have it too far in, this corner folds down. After a while, it just does, because it's fabric, it's got weight to it, and it's going to flop over. So you want to get it as close to the edge, right, as possible. So that's what I do, and so our binding is going to go on at a 1/4 inch. All our quilts 1/4 inch, basically for everything. So I ironed this in half. There you can see the seam, just to give it a little bit of a memory. And then I put it where I want it, and I'll clip this on. And then what I do is I stitch a basting stitch about 1/8 of an inch away. So let me do that.
Here, the magic is starting. I'm going to bring you guys over here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Hang on. Oh, nope, I got it. That question already.
Okay.
Whoops. Sorry about all the
Okay.
using a tripod today, and so.
Okay, and I just have a basting stitch, and we know a 1/4 inch is going to be right to the edge of your foot. So just go about half that. And what that does is make sure that your stitches will be caught underneath your binding. And I'm just basting it.
So Michelle's
It's
basting
like at
at
5.0.
5.0.
And let the clips work for you.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
No,
I have
you're
your
fine. I
foot-
got it.
I have your foot prisoner.
Yeah,
I
I don't
did the
normally stitch like this.
Kind of hard.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So there. So now I have it about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. So now I don't have to mess with it. I don't have to clip this, clip this, clip this. With my binding in, it's too much to think about. So that's why I do it that way.
No, that makes total
So now, let me see, which way should I show? I'll show it this way. Well, then you got to hand stitch it. Okay, I'm gonna do. I love the machine stitching. Okay.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna do it differently if you hand.
yeah, if you hand stitch it, let's say this is the back of the quilt. Obviously, the sleeves going on the back. Here's the front. If you're gonna hand stitch it, like I do, if you're gonna put it in a show, and you know you are, you're gonna stitch it 1/4 inch from the front, and then you're gonna roll it to the back, and then you're gonna hand stitch it. But I'm not gonna do that this way. I'm gonna go ahead and do the machine stitching so I can show
I know
you.
you're telling me I'm jumping ahead, but because this is just little and it's on top, if it was the full piece that was going on, or
Yeah,
do you always just do the
nope,
top?
nope. I always have a big old no.
So
that's
where do you
too much
start?
work.
Where do you start from?
When I have my binding,
Yeah.
you can start anywhere. Because I've already stitched that down, so it doesn't matter.
But
I
where do you
just
you
make
don't-
sure
I always,
this
I always
doesn't-
start bottom right.
Oh, do you? I always start. Okay,
I
start
heard
my
most
binding
people
on-
start
I
top
start-
left,
I start in the middle of the right side.
the middle of the right. Okay.
Yeah, everybody has a different.
So
place
Gail
to
starts
start.
middle right. I usually start about 1/3 of the way down right. Where do you
I always start in the middle, wherever,
right?
middle wherever.
middle wherever?
Just so it's in the middle, so that when my binding is coming together, I have a big spot where I can do all
too.
that, and,
so
then
the
I can
judges don't
flip
care.
all
Wait,
this.
I won't talk
No.
about that until next.
No,
time.
judges don't care where you sit.
Okay.
No, because I didn't bring enough binding.
No,
for,
yeah, I was just
for-
Yeah,
curious.
it doesn't
I-
matter.
I-
And since she's done these in, your binding's not going to get in the way. Since
Yeah.
your thing's in.
Right.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure that you don't like have it roll over on you, and you're sewing your binding on the back side, and you go, "Oh my goodness, I have to
I
rip
have to
that baby
reverse
frog
sew.
it."
Reverse sew.
So did that? No. Okay. So I just brought this little piece of binding so I could show you this part. So here's my raw edge, and my folded over edge is this side. So all my raw edges are together.
And this is for machine. If you're going to do it by machine right now.
Yeah, if you
So
do it by
do
machine.
it on the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it doesn't matter. You can do it either way. The next step that I'm going to show you is gonna work either way. So I'm going to go ahead and I did. So now we're just going to do a 1/4 inch. Oh wait, you know what? Let me go back just a little bit. Okay. So I will just stitch this down 1/4 inch away. Thank you. There. Okay. Okay, so now our binding is on. Let's say we went all the way around, we did our corners and all that stuff. So we're going to flip this around. And now what I'll do, I'll show you how I do my machine binding. Look, you get a bonus. So I like to use my R foot. But Jeannie, you were showing me.
Isn't that? I mean, you've
Because
got.
it's got a stitch in the ditch, this little edge right here. When I machine bind, and I don't iron, I don't do anything. I mean, people do iron, and yes, it helps a lot to do that.
I
But
never iron.
I never,
Mine
I don't iron mine
Never.
because I just fight with it as it, happens. Okay. So, and I put it on my Q2, and then I put it on my width of 6. And okay. So what I do now, my needle's pushed way over, and then that little stitch in the ditch, I don't know if you can catch that or not,
Alright,
but
zoom
you
in.
can see, yeah, and then,
zoom in a little bit for you guys.
and the needle is over far enough.
Sorry, not letting me zoom.
Okay. Even if you go like that?
Sorry. Can you see if I so this is how Michelle has it set up. So you're using that flange to go against the edge of your binding. She's set up to a stitch width of a 6, which moved her needle to the right, and a stitch length of a 2. Do you keep it on a 2?
Yes,
Because
and
she's
I'm on a,
she's in the quilting stitches, and when you choose the P stitches in your quilting folder, it's going to be at a 2.
and the O2, pop my needle way over to the right.
Yeah, your O2 is going to pop you to a little bit
Watch, I'll
further
show ya.
than,
It gives you a 5.5.
yeah, 5.5.
So like if you're on 1, that's your center, and then the 2 sticks you over, but it went to a 5.5. So I go ahead and put it on a 6 because I like my needle way over, but this is where you can adjust. And this R foot, it works really good for this, but it's got that little, it's got a little
Yeah.
loopty right in the middle.
Do you
And
see?
yeah, can we look at that other foot? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm really thinking of getting that because it doesn't have that in there.
Yeah.
And if I want to
The,
do decorative,
the R
it would
foot
work.
is originally your traditional blind hem foot, and it does have a little metal piece in the middle that you have to watch
We
out
could
for.
take it off, and you want to show it?
Yeah, we could show it. So here we have, this is the R foot. That's your blind hem foot. It has that metal piece. So you do have to watch out for that metal piece down the center. What Michelle's doing, you can also do with your edge joining foot. It's going to have that flange, and what she's using that flange for is the guide to ride on the edge of the binding strip. And then she's taking her needle drop position and moving it to the right so she gets perfect placed stitching the whole way. You can also go with one of the bi-level feet. And the bi-level feet has that lift in the back where it's not even, but that is made so it can ride on top of, like next to and on top. And again, you can choose your needle drop and it'll be perfect every time because this is going to be riding against the edge. There's a right and a left depending on how you like to sew your binding on. Were you talking about this foot, Michelle?
No, I was talking about that one. But
Oh,
all
yeah.
of them, they look. That
Yeah.
one, the whole. I like a wider hole
Yes.
in mine.
So this one you can move your needle left and right, but you can't move it quite as far as you can with your edge joining. That hole's not quite as big, but that's always nice. So you can move your needle left and right. And then of course you have all of these feet if you're using your dual feed. So they're going to have the flange that you can use, and then you can move your needle drop. Probably the one you'd want to use is going to be the stitch in the ditch, which is going to be kind of equivalent to all the ones that we're showing you. That guide that you can ride next to the edge of your binding, and then you can drop your needle drop anywhere in that big open hole. Which do you want? Did you want to try this one?
Not live on camera.
Okay. We're going to go back to the R foot.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, let's practice. No, I use this one religiously for every binding I've ever done. So I'm really comfortable with this one.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is just drop that down, make sure I'm on 6.0, and I'm on a 2.0 stitch length. That's just what I use. You can use 2.5 or whatever you're comfortable with. And then you can do bindings really, oop, there's a thread. You can do bindings really quick this way. Just make sure that you have that folded over and that your sleeve is where you want it.
Have you ever had the sleeve edge flip under? Never? She's a pro!
No, because I check it.
And are you
Well,
feeling
have
it
I-
underneath every time you tuck
Yes.
your hand under there?
Yes, I
Okay.
can feel it. If I could feel it.
She
But
was
no,
playing binding gynecologist.
yeah.
She's flipping under, giving it a little feel, making sure everything's where it needs to be.
Oh my gosh. Jeannie, I never thought of it that way. And then if I have threads and stuff, I always just tuck them underneath.
Yeah.
No sense in having to stop and cut constantly. Okay, so there we go.
How wide are you so binding strips? Are you a 2 1/4? Are you
Yeah.
a 2 1/4?
Yes.
So Michelle's a 2 1/4 kind
like
of
'em
girl, but a
tight.
lot of people are 2 1/2.
2 1/4.
Look how perfect that is. So that's the beauty of using the flange, because it's going to ride right next to the edge of the binding and give you that perfectly spaced stitch. That's Michelle was going at a 6.0 with the R foot.
Yep. Yep. That's absolutely right. Now the whole all
Look
the
how
rest-
good it looks.
Yep, and that's on the back.
Okay.
So now the rest is hand stitching.
Ick. Did you hear that?
But, you know, I've walked into some place, I remember, and the quilts, they didn't have it tacked down at all, and they had the quilt hung up like this.
Yeah.
And I don't like seeing my
do people
sleeve
ever?
like that.
Yeah.
Or they'll have a smaller sleeve in it, but it's still
Sticking up.
It could be this big and still hangs up.
Yeah,
Yes.
That doesn't look good.
I don't like that myself.
Okay.
So we can put this aside, and I will show you now
Oh my God, we're
the
gonna
most
see start to
important
finish.
piece of equipment.
Okay, are we talking about this
Yeah.
ruler?
Yes, this is what I do. So what you want to do, you want to make sure if you were to stitch this down right here, and then you go to hang it, and then you're going to have, I don't know if you've ever seen in the quilt show where it looks like this.
It kind of rolls a little
It's
bit.
you're seeing it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You don't want that. You want your quilt nice and flat like that. So we're going to put the roll
Excuse
in the
me.
back.
Can you next time pick a quilting stitch that's not so cute, because I'm a little
I
distracted
don't think
by
it's so
it.
cute. The
I'm distracted
chickens.
by the chickens. They're so cute. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, so
Just
anyway,
Jenny.
what I do, I use this because it's long, and I got it, I don't even know, a hardware store or something, you know, for just a couple bucks or whatever. So I take this, if you fold this right up to the top of your binding, right there,
Can you
not
do that
over.
one more time so they can watch you do that?
Yes, see, so it's all flat. I take this, and I go just like this.
Got it.
And then,
I've never seen that before. I did not know.
yeah, and you can see where my first fold is that I ironed. It's got, because fabric has a memory. It's going to get a memory here too. So I
Okay.
take it and I iron this right here. And then I iron right with my ruler in there.
So you can see it on this one.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. So
Yep,
It's-
see?
okay, was it worth it, ladies, just for this tip? Right? Worth it?
I hope so.
Yes.
Because it will not go over, and anything in there,
Oh,
won't
got
sit.
it.
opens.
Yeah.
Okay.
It opens that way. So it's going to hang nice and flat in the front, and the bar will be in the back.
Okay. Got it.
Yep, so that's what I do. Iron that flat down, and then take this out. So it's like this. I just lay it flat on the table, and then I stitch. And when I stitch it down, please make sure you stitch this
That down.
You
down.
hand stitch that down
Yes.
too.
Yes. So you
can
have
see
an
there.
opening, because
Yeah.
sure as anything,
It'll
someone's
get cut.
yeah, if you only stitch this back part down, it's going to go up, and then someone's going to put a bar right here. We don't know what's on the bar. They've been in, you know, in a
It's-
warehouse
right,
situation,
storage.
or they're dirty. Someone's got grubby hand, whatever. You don't want that rubbing on the inside of the back of your quilt. The sleeve is something that you can easily take off. You could cut it and just put it back on, and then
Well, it
let the
protects it.
the sleeve takes all the grime and the dirt, protects your quilt, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's what I do. I stitch, and then I hand stitch all the way down, and I stitch up this side, and then you have a sleeve that looks like that.
Wonderful.
Ta-da!
Let me see if there's oh, you're a bit. How are we in focus right now, Faye? Sorry about that. Okay. How wide was your binding strip? Your binding strip, you do 4.5.
2.25 on the binding.
On the binding.
I mean, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
I was
2
doubling it.
Yeah.
2.25 for the binding
Yeah,
for
the
both of
sleeve-
these ladies.
Yep, sleeve. I started with 8 inches wide.
And 8 inches wide on the sleeve, and as long as from edge to edge of your quilt
Yes.
Yes.
for the quilt top where it's going to hang.
Yes, and then I folded it on both sides twice, about 1/4 inch, so you lose a 1/2 inch.
On each side.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Any questions out there? Another way to take your quilt hangers to a new level. And I love that because I did not know about doing that. I did not know. And I guess you have to hand sew it
Yeah.
from the back side. Faye says, is there a way to attach the bottom of the sleeve by machine?
No.
Rather than
You're
hand
gonna-
stitching.
Nope, because then your bobbin thread will be on the front or the back. You're going to have your front.
No,
Yeah,
and you got to
no.
make sure when you hand stitch that you don't go through to the front of your quilt.
Right. Because you will be able to see it.
Yep.
And it'll bother you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Miss Faye, no. I would go, how about monopoly? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It'll melt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a joke. If I ever do this, I will hand stitch. But that looks so good, and now it makes sense. I'm always looking for easy peasy. But,
Yeah.
you spend all that time making a quilt.
Oh,
Why not
absolutely.
make the hanger
Mhm.
perfect, too? All right.
All right.
All right. Well, that was it. If you guys don't have any questions, there's your little lesson on how to create a hanger and how to put it on and how big to make it. Next month, and we'll put up the date and time soon, we're going to be talking about quilt shows. Because a lot of you, yep, what to expect, what you want to do to make it award winning, and what you want to avoid. So,
What the judges look
What
for.
what the judges look for. I have never judged. I don't know. But Gail has.
I have. It's been a long time ago, and things have changed a lot, but it's still pretty much the same things that we talked about,
Yeah. So we're thinking of really doing a good question and answer. If people want to
If
get
you
their
want
questions.
Yeah.
oh yeah, a big Q&A. So if you're thinking about doing something and you want it to look as perfect as possible, then that's what they're going to be talking about. Faye just asked if we could show the binding stitch on the front of the quilt. This would be the front, and she used that little flange so she could get that stitch just a little bit over from the edge. All right. Well, then, thanks for joining us. Thank you, ladies, for being here, and we will see you next month. Bye.
Bye.
I'm trying to...
Did we go off?
Oh, are you sure? Yes. I love this.